Hey guys, it's been a little while since my last video, so I figured it was about time for a new one. In this one, I'm going to show you some really cool toys that I've recently purchased. I'll start with the guitar and amp that I've bought and explain that to you. And yeah, I also want to show you the new light that I bought. Yeah, this one's pretty cool, so I want to take you through that one and actually show you like how neat it actually is. I purchased one of them, but I also have two more coming. So I'll actually start with the light, because I feel like if I start with that, it's just going to be a more natural transition to, hey, so that's the light, so now here's all the guitar stuff. But yeah, so it's a Manfrotto light. I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm not sure, but I just found it at work, and it was just sitting on the shelf, and it was a random thing, and I started looking at it, and I realized, wow, this is actually a good brand. Like, they're freaking expensive. Even for what I got it for, it's an expensive light. I got it for like a little over 200 bucks, and these are about 700 bucks when they first came out, and even now they're around the $500 mark at most other places that sell them. But at work they're just like getting rid of them all. So yeah, they're really cheap, and I figured I gotta pick these up. These are kind of awesome lights. They're not like, I was looking at the newer light packages that you can get for cheaper, but these ones just have things which I think make them just a little step above. Starting with, they've got Bluetooth. So there's an app I can download to my phone or on tablet. I think I'll eventually get a little tablet just so I can control things in like a studio sort of setup. And yeah, so the lights have Bluetooth and you can actually control them. This one here, this is just the regular LED light, and you can control the brightness of it on your phone. There's another one that I have coming, which is the daylight one. So you can alternate between sort of an orange color to a bright white color, and you can also control the brightness of it. So yeah, they're run by Bluetooth, and that was a big selling point for me, not having to get up and then manually adjust the brightness. I could just sit down, look at a little monitor, wirelessly adjust all the lights. Yeah, it's just a cool setup. So yeah, it's a pretty good light, and it comes with the gels, it comes with this light box, and yeah, it's a pretty good light, so I'm happy with it. Also got this cheap tripod. It is just a cheap one. It was like, it was cheap. I can't even remember how much it was, but it's not a light stand, but it is cheap and it does the job. So yeah, I'm quite happy with it. So that's my new light. Now onto the guitar. So this is my new guitar. So I was at Pennywise and I spotted this there. One of my New Year's resolutions was to learn an instrument. Now, I originally thought it was going to be a piano, because, you know, I've been on YouTube and I was like, you know what, piano would actually be pretty cool to learn. And I'll probably still end up doing that one day, but I just saw this there and it was such a good price, and I was just like, boom, done. You know, I worked out a deal with the guy and got it for a really good price. I did a bit of Googling and found out it's, you know, a basic entry-level cheapish guitar. They had like $179 on it, and I was just like, yeah, I ain't paying that. So I just said, look, dude, I'll give you 130 bucks for it, which I thought was a pretty decent deal. And he took it, so yeah, probably should have offered him a little bit less, but 130 bucks, I was still happy with it. So yeah, this is it here. There's the back of it. And one of the things that made me kind of lean towards this and be okay with, you know, paying that amount for a used cheap guitar was this little sticker here. That is a, what is that? It's a Music Doctor? Yeah, it's a Music Doctor sticker. I actually called him to just like see if he could like service this amp. You know, just make sure there was nothing wrong with it. Yeah, he's actually pretty good, and he actually, I think he said, based on what he knows, about a couple of weeks before this one was sold to the pawn shop, he serviced it. So yeah, that made me buy this one, because I was just like, well, it is a cheap guitar, but it has recently been serviced, and it is a pretty good guitar. I'm really happy with it. I went to a music store, like a 20-minute drive from me, and bought this really nice strap for it. And I actually got a good cable, because I bought one from work and it was making this like buzzing sound. And I spoke to him and he's like, yeah, you should get yourself a good quality cable. So I went to the music store, and it's amazing how cheap this cable actually was. It was like 30 bucks. I thought that'd be a lot more. And to be fair, there were more expensive cables there. They were like $100 plus. And the dude was just like, unless you're curing cancer with the guitar, you don't need that. Just take this cheap one. And it works, so I'm happy. So yes, there's that. Now, let me take you to the amp. This is the Orange brand. I originally started off with a Marshall amplifier that I bought with the guitar, and that one immediately gave me issues. I was just like, there is something majorly wrong with this, and then something started rattling around, and then the handle broke off it, and I took it back to the pawn shop, and I was just like, you know, yeah, it was working when you gave it to me, but now it's not. And fortunately, they sort of said, yeah, we actually had a guy return it before you bought it, saying there was an issue with it. But for some reason, when they tested it out in the store, it seemed to work fine. So it's an intermittent thing. So yeah, they gave me my money back, and I went to another pawn shop, like literally right next door to it, and they had this amp sitting there. This amp was $100 more, but after my experience with that other amp, I was just like, I'm not going to cheap out. This is a good amp. It's basically brand new, so I'm going to buy it. And I'm glad I did, because this is an awesome amp. I'm very happy with this one. Coincidentally, when I went to the music store to purchase that, the guitar strap and the picks and all that, they actually had some of these Orange amps in there for sale. There was like a slightly bigger one and then a slightly smaller one than this, and they were like $300, so I got a good deal on this one here. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Another thing I got was this here. This is a guitar tuner. I didn't know I needed one of these. I just saw this when I was paying for the strap, and I was just like, is that a guitar tuner? Dude, I think I need one of those. And he's like, yeah, you really need one of those. Apparently you're supposed to tune your guitar every time you go to use it. So yeah, I got this one here. Essentially how it works is you clip it with this little clippy thing onto the guitar like that. Well, maybe if I spin it around like that. Yeah, that works. Highly maneuverable, so I can actually see the screen. And then I'll switch this on. Okay, you can see it on there, and essentially you just, the idea is to get it right in the middle, as close as you can. And because I had already previously tuned it, it is looking pretty solid. Yeah, so that's essentially what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to be right in the middle, so if you need to make any changes, this is a good time. See, that one's a little bit over, but I'm not really going to worry about that at the moment because I'm not really doing anything. Yeah, that one's fine. So yeah, it's a neat little thing. It's quite handy. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it, the setup that I've got here. I think it's a great starter kit to sort of, you know, learn the guitar. So yeah, I mean, I haven't learnt much yet. I've pretty much, you know, learned how to tune it, get it all working, but actually playing music, I haven't learnt that yet. Pretty much all I can do is... That's it. That's pretty much it. So yeah, that's my new guitar setup. And lastly, I'm going to show you some records that I recently picked up. My work had like a one-day 20% off sale, so it was a great time to get some records if you wanted them. The first one being this Avril Lavigne Let It Go 20th Anniversary Edition. Yeah, I love Avril Lavigne. I've been a big fan of hers, yeah, for like ever. I think like my favorite song of hers would be Girlfriend. When I was like 16 and she released that one, I would just be blasting that constantly. So yeah, really, really nice cover. Some nice spot gloss there. And we have a really nice gatefold. Really nice pictures in this one. Yeah, I love when they take the time to put nice pictures in here. Like, one thing I don't like is when you open it up and it's just writing. I don't like that. I like when there's pictures. I'm a picture person. And Britney, my queen, has released a bunch of vinyl records. Well, I don't know if she's released them or if it's her label. I'm not sure what the deal is, but being a Britney fan, I gotta buy it. Yeah, so this is the Baby One More Time one. I'm super happy about this one, because there's another one, like basically the exact same thing that was released through Urban Outfitters, and I think they only did 1,000 copies of them. Exact same thing as this. The difference being that this is the different one. So it's not that one, but yeah, it's pretty close. And that other one's like $1,000 now if you want one on the secondhand market. So that's the picture that you get. You know, pretty standard. You get that with just about every release that they've done of this one here, with this cover, not the older 90s ones, just this cover. And this is the record. A really, really nice baby pink. I am super happy to have this because I was not paying $1,000 for the other one. I love Britney, but no, not happening. Next one is this one, Britney. I have always loved the artwork of this album. You know, how they've done, like the whole color palette and style that they've done here, the effects that they've put on there. I just really like it. And this one here is a yellow. A really nice sort of bright yellow. So, yeah. These are the, like they've only done 3 of them so far. I do have all the other ones on order. There's like 9 of them in total. And these were the first 3 that, yeah, came through. And the last one is Britney Spears, Oops, I Did It Again. I think it really is amazing. Like, just how she managed to produce one awesome album after the next, all hits. It's just like every album she releases, there's one song in it at least that just is iconic. You know, like there are some of her songs from like even the first album that not a lot of people know, but they're still great songs. But every album she releases, there's always one song on it at least that is just this phenomenal hit that just goes on to become iconic. And that's what makes her Britney Spears. So yeah, like even through her like breakdown, she still released one of what I consider to be her best songs ever, which was Piece of Me. I love that song. I used to blast that all the time. And yeah, it's just amazing the amount of talent that she has. I hope she like, you know, pulls through whatever she's going through at the moment and comes out the other side and just produces more phenomenal songs, because she has a lot of talent and, you know, she deserves to continue on with her success. You know, I mean, but that's up to her, obviously. But it would be nice. You know, as a fan, you want nothing more than to see your idol succeed. And, you know, Britney for me is, she's done a lot for me. Like, growing up, it wasn't easy for me. And then when I found Britney, I kind of latched onto her. I kind of like, in case people didn't realize, I'm kind of obsessed with Britney Spears because she is someone that I look up to. And yeah, it was a weird thing that I was going through, and she kind of helped me get through that phase of my life where I was just like, why am I feeling this way? Why do I want to wear girls' clothes? Why do I want long hair? You know, all this stuff. And I kind of latched onto her as, you know, this is what I want to get to. This is a beautiful person, and that's what I want. You know, not necessarily to, you know, to be up there with her level of beauty, but just to be a girl. And yeah, she helped me get through it. That was a weird way of explaining it, but yeah, she helped me get through it. So yeah, let me show you this one here. This is the inner sleeve. And the record itself is a purple. So yeah, that is the first 3, and I am eagerly anticipating the next 6 of them. So that's all I'm going to show you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Yeah, that's it. I will see you guys in the next one.